Hello and welcome back, friends, to the Premier League of Hell Let Loose. I am your host here tonight, Caparzo, bringing you a 30v30 matchup here on Saint-Marie du Mont between the 27th Field Artillery Regiment and Comando Especial Latino. So we will refer to them as CEL and 27 throughout this match. So we are on Saint-Marie du Mont, and these two teams are going to be facing off for, I believe, the first time. 27th had a bye week 1, so you see their 0-0 record. Meanwhile, CEL played against SUDT last week on the channel, in fact, and lost to them 5-0 on Pierre's Farm, but hoping for a change of fortune here on the dugout. So 27th will be playing the Axis here compared to CEL as the Allies. So Allies will be coming from this way, and the Axis are going to be coming from this way. So this is traditionally, and when I say traditionally, I just mean in the 49v49 type games, considered pretty widely Axis favored. So that's just purely by virtue of really this house that you have here to come up to the point. And then the Allies forced into a little bit more of an open ground. As far as what we can expect here tonight, I think you'll see these two teams come out really, really strong for the mid-cap. Either way, whoever caps this one, the person who loses out on that mid cap is going to have a much more difficult time throughout the game, and this is a pretty punishing midpoint. The Germans are favored just because, again, they have this house and this little kind of farm area to push up to. It's a little bit nicer to do. But again, if the Allies are able to control this hill, which I think is where we'll see the armor playing for most of this game, but if the Allies are able to control this hill, they have a really nice vantage point and can really inflict some damage on the Axis. On the other side of things, if the Axis is able to get control of this hill, kind of a similar story. Gardens is going to be a massive thing that we talk about this game throughout. Whether the Allies have cattle sheds or Breakcourt Battery over here on the west side, Gardens is a key area to both hold as defenders, but also to be taking out garrisons from as a attacker. So we'll be talking about Gardens here a lot. We'll be talking about this area here called Hockey Stick. This kind of looks like a hockey stick. So when you hear me talk about that, I'm talking about this area. And then just to round out the trifecta of Saint Marie du Mont, we have 5 points here. So 5 roads intersecting. We call this 5 points. So a critical area to hold, really, regardless of what the midpoint is. So this little path from Gardens to Hockey Stick to 5 points is something that is always a focus at one point or another during any Saint Marie du Mont game. So expect to see that a lot. On the other side of the soft cap here, we have this road that kind of leads into this other sort of farm area and these tank traps for the Allies. So really, once you get to the end of here, it's a bit of an open push across here until you get to the next trench line. So that's very punishing, especially when you combine that with what the Germans should be doing, which is getting an MG up in this house. And you can see just how dominant of a vantage point that is. Their other option for the Allies is to take kind of like the map edge. You can skirt it pretty close here before you're really out of bounds, and sometimes just a few well-placed smokes here is all you need. But I would imagine we will see at least a Lux playing in this sort of area for the Germans. That is pretty traditional of what you see on the dugout. But again, we can kind of toss that all out because this isn't a traditional match. This is a 30v30, so much more room for red zone stuff to occur, much more room for commander abilities, particularly airheads, to be influential throughout the game. So all those sorts of things that you keep in mind with the 49s game is not going to be the same this time around. And speaking of things that are new and different this time around, we have the server stats now integrated into our CAS here. So if you look at your score bug there at the bottom, you'll see the kills for either team, and that's going to be updated in semi-real time. I say semi-real because I don't know the exact data scrape periods, but you will see that update throughout the match. We also have player-specific stats that we will be flashing throughout the match, just sort of a top 10. Gauge what the lobby is looking like throughout. Also going to be updating the score and the timer in real time. So you might see a little lag as we flip over when the map gets flipped, but that will update automatically. So at least that's the idea. This is technology. Nothing's always flawless, but it does look like it's working so far. So that is great. So another interesting thing about this match is that CEL will be playing here with a few manpower down. Unfortunately, they weren't able to get to the full 30, but they should be fairly close to it. And 27th has accepted that as well. So 27th will be playing with the full complement, but you might see a little less players on the CEL side. So that's what that is about. As far as favorites and underdogs here, what I got to be honest with you all out there, I'm not so familiar with the 27th. I've not watched them play before, so if you're in the same sort of situation, you can join me along in that tonight and kind of seeing how they like to play this beautiful game of Hell Let Loose. And CEL, I saw them last week against SUDT. They did lose 5-0, but Personally, I think SUDT is a very, very experienced team and a good team at that. So I wouldn't weigh that loss too much on CEL as a team, but more on that SUDT is just a very experienced and this is like their fourth time go around in TPL. I want to say they are a runner up or a champion in every year pretty much. So, but while we are talking about like this division and everything like that, let's push up the division standing so we can kind of see where we're at here today. So SUDT, they're in first place there. You see them with the 1-0. They are playing right now as well, being casted. So if you're taking want to watch more games at once, you can pop that in another tab and bounce between these games tonight with us and the TPL stream team. We have the 48th, who I believe are also playing tonight or tomorrow. And then SOH, Panzerlehr, and then CEL as our three teams that lost in week 1. So it's still very early in the season, and anything can happen. But these are your Division 8 teams here as we stand here in week number 2 of the Premier League. So I hope you guys have been enjoying the matches today and this year so far. We've had some real classic ones. As far as the ones that occurred last weekend, I'd say if you're looking for something to watch tonight, before you go to bed, just can't get that itch of competitive Hell Let Loose out of your system, I would check out the KRRC versus TRR matchup, and that was played last week, and as part of our canal crossing extravaganza that apparently was going on last weekend. But that is a fine game that keeps you waiting until the last bombing run to see who's going to come out on top there. So if you're looking for something to watch, check that one out. I really, really enjoyed getting the recap of that one. But I hope everyone's having a good weekend. We are into the fall season here. I don't know about you guys, but it's kind of nice getting a little break from the sun, but at the same time, I don't want it to get cold. Can't deal with that. Let's get a player count. So the allies are full. So this is 35v35, in fact. So apologies for saying 30 earlier, but just working out some stuff in Discord. Looks like maybe there's an issue with the player count, but we'll see what happens here. If you're hearing this means that the game has gone on. So if you're worried, then don't be worried because you're hearing this. We'll see what happens, though. Personally, I like dugout as a midpoint. I think it's even fun to play on as allies, which is obviously a disadvantage point, but something about fighting over this little area here and how it links up with this trench line and this house here makes it just a really, really good time to fight over as the allies. There's so many like fun spots off the rip here. You got the map edge, you have the meat grind, and then you have your hilltop here that are really, really impactful areas to fight. There's no area of this front line that isn't going to be an important spot to fight over. Again, all the way up to 5 points. You see teams all the time like fighting for control of this AA area and 5 points, which is going to enable the wrap for the allies, and simultaneously it's going to enable the wrap for the Axis to fight in that quintessential hockey stick garden, and then obviously look to take out the garrison that every team is going to have here. I don't care if you're thinking you're going to try to be clever and say, oh, I'm not going to put a garrison in gardens. No, you definitely should. Everyone knows you're going to have it here, but sometimes the best garrison is just one that you have, and you're going to have to rebuild it a bunch, especially if the 27th recon wants to give a little bit of problem. So we'll see about that. But that's an area that you'll see hotly fought over if the 27th is able to come up with the mid-cap here. On this side, the other sort of quintessential garrison spot for the Axis is going to be behind here. You'll always see a garrison pretty much just behind the neutral line and try to funnel people into here. So that kind of gives them a nice path in to the point. Now, if we're talking garrisons that you see on the Axis side, it's a little bit more difficult because you see where we are is out of bounds. And, I did say the best garrison is one that you have, but again, you probably don't want to place it right in the middle of this field here. Get some unhappy infantry. So I think what you'll see there is teams place it a little bit further back over here, just to give it a little bit of protection. But you can see that that's quite the distance to run. So if you do lose your OP on this front line, you're going to have a bad time if you're forced running back here. We'll see what happens here with these teams with the number stuff that's going on though. I think this is a point too where, as the Axis, you have a big difference in terms of points to defend. You have this map edge point here, which names escape me right now, which is pretty hard to take as the allies, and then over here much easier. On top of it being offset, but the ground to gain, it's very easy if you're able to control again the 5 points area, and it's very much the same sort of story on the other side. We have cattle sheds over here, which is kind of infamous as a difficult point to hold, just because of all the areas that you can kind of get snuck up on in. And then on the other side of the coin is Breakcourt Battery, which is obviously much more difficult to take. A lot of open ground, and the hinge point is always going to be these gardens here. So I think we will have a match here today. It looks like that might just be quite a bit of manpower down on the 20 or on the CEL side. Sorry, so we'll see what happens here. Sorry for the delay in starting, ladies and gentlemen, but veterans of watching these games and casting these games will know that this is kind of the typical thing that you see. And I know other leagues on PC are kind of like taking a stand against it in terms of like 1 minute after the start time they're flipping it no matter what, which I definitely appreciate it. And in a game that takes very often 90 minutes, I appreciate the being a little bit more respectful of people's time. But it's hard coordinating 35v35. You have 70 players that need to all kind of be on the same page. It's kind of a miracle this works out at all sometimes. So I appreciate you bearing with us here. Hopefully we'll be off here soon. I think that they're just saying that because of the rules as they're laid out in the rule book, the latest we can flip a match is a half hour after the scheduled start time, which is 8:30, which is also conveniently the amount of delay that we have. So, if you're ever wondering when you're watching these and like it's taking forever to flip the map and I want to just get this thing started, then just know that it can't possibly be more than a half hour. So hopefully we'll get this sorted out soon and we can just get a flip and get underway. For start a match, this is kind of a harder map to hit snipes on. So I think what we see a lot of, or what I've seen a lot of, is a artillery snipe that kind of splashes down here on this road or just off to the side here to try to catch one of those trucks. And we've seen that have a massive impact in a couple games this season. So San Marino Dumont, it's a match that or a map that everyone plays a lot. So teams have a pretty deep bag of tricks when it comes to these ones. So we could talk a little bit about the 27th since that's the side that we're streaming on. And again, I really hope this match continues. But they're brand new team, and comes from my pal Demonic, who messaged me after seeing us talk about them on the Insiders, which I appreciate you, Demonic, reaching out to me. But they're a brand new team, and they're made up with a leadership council of former CMG leadership, as well as one of the 9PZ founders, which is Demonic himself. So they've kind of been working their way up to 50s and working on building a team, sharing knowledge between those D1 and D2 players to some of these newer guys, which, is something we talked about the podcast as being just so important, especially at where we're on now, where, some people want to play D1 and, they're open to being recruited to a D1 team. But then you have some of these D1 guys that, kind of had their fill and are ready to try a little something different. So, this I think the deal is here is that right now at least that we're waiting for them to find 3 people. Because the lowest you can play with is 25. So I'm hoping that happens soon. But until then, you'll just have to continue to hear me yap and talk about Hell Let Loose, which I suppose is one of the things I'm good at least. So hope I'm at least entertaining a little bit. But so realistically, if we get to another 10 minutes here, they will have to either flip it or call it here. So interested to see what happens here. It seems like we've had a little bit of player issues in the lower divisions recently. I mean, I think it's still end of summer, so everyone's trying to get their fill in. If you guys are maybe looking for something to watch while this is all going on, maybe the other matches have started. We have SUDT versus SOH, so another Division 8 matchup, and that's going to be casted by Madeira TV. So check out him on the TPL livecast channel. And then we have EngShijima, who's doing 626 versus 79th. That starts at 9 p.m. Eastern, so about a half hour from now. So it should be starting-ish soon when you're hearing this. So if you're looking for more things to watch, there's plenty of stuff out there. Just pop open a second tab, and that's what I like to do. Just try to watch as many games at once. Just 2 more. Let's see. Starting to believe that maybe I'm the common denominator here with how the EXO or not EXO, sorry, the 3-5 versus Taco game went, where had a little bit of a false start there too. So hopefully hopefully we don't have a repeat of that, and we can get this underway soon and just chalk it up to a little bit of a delay here, but we'll see. Appreciate you guys sticking with us while we sort this out. You know, it's again, it's tough coordinating this many people, so let's do a check here. You just one more. Exciting. Hopefully this we're underway soon here. I know 27th is itching to go, especially after not playing last week. You know, because it's a 7-team division. One team is going to have off week 1, and that was the 27th. So they are itching to go here and trying to get a match on the board. So I mean, either way, they will win. If there's a forfeit, but these guys have been prepping and you know, getting everything down all day long today and all week long leading up to here. So I know everyone's kind of eager to flex those guns and show that prep matters, or at least to be able to you know, play a game that we obviously love playing and that we dedicate so much time and to it. So let's see if we have that magical one last person. We do, and we will be going here, guys. So if you stuck with us, you're gonna be rewarded by a really fun game here. It's kind of like a little bit of a David and Goliath right now, with CEL having 10 less players, which is significant, especially in this lower player count matchup. I think they're gonna get ready to flip here. Nice. So let me have the yeah, Andy is our league official for this game is going to be initiating this map flip here. And we're going to be off here, ladies and gentlemen. I am so pumped to be spending my Saturday night here with you all, casting this wonderful game that we're about to be showing case here. So hopefully the wait was worth it for you all, and you're ready to kick off an incredible week 2 here on my channel. Tomorrow we'll be back with some OnlyFins, not the website, just some Finnish guys who are really good at Hell Let Loose playing Red Zone, so a South American team. So we have a European versus South America matchup on your plate that we're bringing you tomorrow. And I'm excited for that one too. I believe we're on Foy for that one, so not sure exactly the midpoint, but no matter what it is, I am psyched for it. Maybe we'll get another dugout. Maybe you could do 2 dugouts just on different maps this weekend on the channel, which would be pretty fun. But I think our wonderful league official is going to be flipping now. I see he has said, and we are ready to go here, guys. And oh, I'm loving this because I get to be in a solo squad. And that means I get to see all the pings, which is something that I love to see while casting and kind of get an idea what these teams are working towards on the map, coordinating between them. So let's jump in here. As soon as this map loads, it always makes me worried. So we're on the Germans. And we do have offset, so the Hamlet for the 27th, which is going to be really, really hard. And then Breakcourt for and I crashed. That is not ideal. We'll be right back here, guys. Apologies. All right, we're back. Sorry, guys. It's Hell Let Loose. We've all played it. We know what it's like. So let's get up and down with Cam after a little bit more than a little drama to start, but we're here and we're getting after it. So a little bit of everything here today. So I hope you enjoyed at least a little bit of that song that we Caparzo production ahead of this wonderful match. So let's take a look here again. So what we were saying before is the Hamlet offset for the 27th, which is extremely difficult for them. If CEL is able to come away with a cap, getting the Hamlet will be much easier for them than the 27th going into Breakcourt, which is, again, like we were talking about, much more difficult. So hopefully this game volume is good. We'll adjust as needed throughout, but oh, that was some fun drama at the start. So we can see the trucks for the 27 side kind of playing very, very tight to the hard cap, so expect to see them go a little bit of full send. We do see one truck going out that can't see whose name that is, Tor, I believe, going over that way. We have Commander Edgar here for CEL, and then looks like these guys, I wonder what they're up to. Little node building, love to see it. But we are gonna pop off here with CEL versus 27th in week 2 of the Premier League. After a little bit of delay, we are finally here, and I am excited for this midpoint clash. See the rockets going out maybe a little early from the 27th, but decently sighted. That is a likely truck route, so we'll see if we can't see if Saucy maybe wants to take another shot, or maybe Gray Fox gets in on the action. Maybe that was Gray Fox. We'll see. On the other side, as these planes rumble past, we see Stewart. We do see that first artillery shell land on the road. Trucks coming in for the Axis. Taking control of this compound, which is again extremely important. We see a big truckload get off there, and then this other truck gonna run into this meat grind, do a little honk of the horn, and eject its other infantry. We see CEL quite slow getting over here, as you might imagine, with the slower, lighter manpower. Maybe some confusion at the start, but it looks like the 27th is going to have an uncontested cap here of the dugout. See what their armor is doing. So medium is going to play right over here on this hilltop, which is... Oh, I'm not sure what happened here, folks. Hold on. Let me check the thread. I think there was an issue with the flip. Oh, goodness. We're going like... we're hitting all the issues. So get another flip here. So we get to see this again, guys. That makes a lot of sense why we had some slowness by CEL side. Sorry for missing that and getting your hopes up. Let me put something in this thing. A little bit of a dry run that that they got to run there. All right, so we'll see how this shakes out here now with the real deal. Again, sorry about all this delay. Still see the same sort of truck formation from 27th, and then on the other side here, let's see if we can see them kind of, yep, they're much more prepared, it looks like now, moving their trucks up over here. We see their commander again with the supply truck, and then we have our steward crew here, little two-man. See the prioritization over here. You can see that garrison being requested by the commander, kind of where we talked about before. A little bit of a different midpoint layout here now with double offset, which I think will be very interesting. It's going to make this battle over here even more important than it even usually is. So lots of marks going down by the commander, I think indicating where he wants his garrisons off the start here. But again, this area is going to be very, very important just because of the how far the garrison is going to be for the Germans there. Maybe even looking, not quite, they won't be able to fit in too, but maybe these rocket snipes will, yep, thank you, Axel, every 10 seconds. Appreciate that. So every 10 seconds will be when this the kills update. So I'm really excited to see that this game. I was really hoping that this game would would go on so we can see that. But artillery is sighted exactly where we were talking about earlier, so keep an eye out for that. I am excited here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's kick this one off for real this time. 27th, making their move. 3 trucks. Oh, wow. This is a full truck. Those are the guys I think we saw go to this little group of housing here earlier. See if we see that same snipe. It does come in from the top of the truck, which is difficult, but well sighted, just a bit early. Maybe he's going to come in with another one. As they get closer, you can see those 2 trucks on the road there. Let's see if this artillery splash is able to get these guys. Ooh, shell splashes down. Misses. Truck is stopped. I think he has to build a garrison. We're seeing the artillery coming through on the other side now here. Big wave out of this truck now. Again, the presence immediately goes to the 27th here into the hard cap. Minimal driving his truck, launching those guys out. We have the Stewart starting to take some shots. Doesn't look like we have a kill registered here on the board yet. Who will get the first blood? Stewart is fishing for it with these HE shells. First supply drop coming in. Seeing this medium push around. It's gonna, I think, take out this Stewart here. Seeing those kills update, and it does in fact take out the Stewart. Really nice assist by Odysseus, Shadow, and ZA. Nice giving his infantry some relief, and that's going to put both of these teams on the board as far as the kills that we see on your screen right now. I love that feature. That's a very, very cool. Shout out to Axhawk and the BR1 team for that. But the 27th looking strong on the mid cap here. We see the allied medium making a push in this field, exactly what we were talking about before, but Booty Popper and Saucy up here as well, looking to take this ground up to Hockey Stick. And if Booty is able to get an OP and a garrison up here early, this could spell big danger for not only the medium, but for CEL's ability to reinforce this hard cap. So 27 taking the kill lead for the first time here in this game that you see on your screen, but it is a tight opening battle here as Booty still working to control Hockey Stick, and see what happens here using that Car 98 as the squad leader, which I respect, but goes down to Gino and Tezca. Pull out, look at the map. Already Garrison is down at 5 points, which is big. Still looking for that point, Gary, and Item Squad over here working towards that map edge, Gary. Fox Squad's outpost goes hot with this medium here, but Saucy is looking to make a big play to open this game. Saucy gonna go for the rear shot, gets one into this medium. Will anyone pop out? Does Saucy get the reload? Medium is spinning around like a top. Saucy gets taken out, but this medium is stressing. We'll see if he's able to spawn back on the outpost here, as this medium is just slapping HE and is gonna bug out. But you know, we have Dog's outpost here. We have Dog Squad, no ATs around, and that is a vulnerable allied medium tank, especially against the Germans. The Panzerfaust or the Panzerschreck is very, very powerful. You can side pen that guy. Just aim for the conveniently placed star there. And Webb says, who needs bipods? I will take him out myself. Saucy's back with a rocket, one into the tires, or the tracks. Just barely evading is the medium. Who do we have here? This is Riesly, Whitman, and Fanny fighting for their lives. Goddess is up here as well. looking to maybe get an outpost down, get an AT in there, and finish the job. Epico making his push to try to stop that. We see Steel Max. Steel Max is in here with the rocket, and he gets him. Perfectly placed by Steel. Takes out that opening medium. Let's take a look at the map. House Squad, Baker Squad. I want to join these guys here because they are in a big position. If they're able to kind of collapse on these guys that are in the gardens here, along with our boy Steel Max over there and Booty, then could get dangerous. You see Magnify, or I just can't pronounce that name, is got the supplies over there, built another garrison, and 27th in a fantastic spot to start this game. And the pinch is on at Gardens. The garrison is right there in the corner. I'm not sure if Spacey sees this. They do see it now, and him and Ice Warrior are going to take that guy out. That's going to wipe CEL of the Gardens, and 27th continuing this lightning start now, doubling up CEL's kills 36-19 as it stands. Map control is going very, very well for them as we back off here and take a look. You can see 27th now in control of Gardens, and that's step one. You can see a move mark over here. Going to look to get a launch off garrison. Artillery is going to start coming on front door by Haggard, or called in by Haggard. And this recon plane is going to kind of show them what they're dealing with, which is quite a lot, to be fair, on the cattle shed. So let's see what they're able to do here. We see Stuffing over here, Corporal Stuffing. Oh goodness, sorry, can't speak. Gonna set up his outpost here and get a garrison up as soon as possible. Give them another launch point. Might have to build it a little bit more over there, but really good launch spot. But Ice Warrior, Spacey, just gonna run across this field. And 27th with as good of a start that they could have hoped for. Now just 10 minutes into this game and already kind of knocking on the door of cattle sheds. Let's join Goddess, and they take on Martinez. Yancito goes down to Goddess. Goddess flanking around here a bit. Now supported by their teammates. We have Gray Fox. Gonna encounter Martinez, doesn't see him. Martinez laying down, playing the sneaky game, takes out Gray Fox. Saucy wondering where that came from. Seeing Spacey doing a little bit of just running forward, which I appreciate in a squad leader. Looking at the map, you can see the soft cap pressure already beginning for the 27th. And I think that just comes by virtue of them having more players in the game right now. Again, shout out to CEL for choosing to go forward with the game anyway, but that lower manpower is really gonna start hurting them here as Spacey makes his push into the cattle sheds here. Takes out another. See if we can't find where their garrison is. Andre just barely missing with that shotgun. Gonna get peeked by Spacey. Spacey takes him out. Gonna move into the cattle sheds, seeing if he can't locate the garrison, which he does. Spawn wave comes off. Oh my goodness. And poor Spacey gets stepped on a mine, but takes out an enemy at the same time. So I guess we'll count that. Ice Warrior might have gotten the call out. He's going to be pulling up into this this cattle shed here now too. And there he goes. He sees it. He's locking it. He takes out Labesta. And he is going to take that Gary out. So big plays here by the 27th. Wiping the Gary, Edgar. a pissed commander that he has lost its garrison. But we see our first the heavy. 1 second. No, this is a medium. See another medium pulled out here by CEL, but Steel Max maybe looking to get a second medium this game. Not sure what loadout he has. Does have the Panzerschreck. Seeing what Max can do here. Gets a ricocheted by one of his teammates, and it's going to show his butt. Nice and vulnerable for Max. But I don't think he has rockets right now. Or he does. Just going to try to refill them somewhere, maybe. But this tank is being harassed between Mr. Gray Fox over there. He's the one guy holding this point right now, in addition to now CEL that we see spawning more on the blue line. Let's check out Stuffing, as he's about to have to take out most of the team here. Seems to be unaware that there's a garrison spawn there. Which can't blame him, it's in the middle of a wheat field. But Eddie goes down to Stuffing. Stuffing now goes down to Edgar. Airhead is coming in for the 27, but unfortunately it's right on top of a heavy, which is being engaged by another heavy. I think that heavy's just up on the hill that we were talking about, that tanks like to do. A ricochet. I don't think that they see the airhead. Oh goodness. They don't see it, but are they gonna... Oh yeah, they got it. The tank got it. Alright. But we see a defensive airhead being called in by CEL at the same time, but Johnson's right there. Johnson, is he gonna be able to do it before Cobra? Is Cobra gonna stop him? Cobra. Johnson makes a good play to pause up, take it out. That heavy goes down to Saucy, who's been all over it as AT this game. Saucy putting in a good one. But Demonic, Gray, Diggy, Primordial, all on the hard cap here. It's a lot of weight, but we do see a tank going down here. Is that a... It's another medium, so... foot on the gas for the 27th here. Diggy gonna see if how many he can take out here. Is a really important life. Takes out 2. Diggy gonna have to get to some cover. Martinez. Diggy hears that Martinez gets him. Every one of these lives matters so much here, because if these guys get into the hard cap, you might see it stop, and it does stop as Martinez kicks in the door for Tezca, Cobra, and Edgar. But Primordial gonna get a couple here. Demonic with that FG-42 sniper, just so powerful. And that should be enough for the 27 to hold on here. It's gonna be close, but I think they do have it, and they do. That is 4-1 for 27th here, just over 15 minutes into this one. And they're already at the barn. We see Steel Max, Malarkey, and who do we have here? Magnify all over here. And Mag is going to have to kind of hold his own here against John and Odin, because if he can, he'll keep this locked out. So let's see if Magnify can get some really clutch kills here and enable his team to pull up, or if CEL will be the ones with the clutch kills. That is a clutch kill number 1, keeping this contested. We see Odin now gonna try to push in here. This spawn still cannot be used until they clear this out entirely. Now this medium is gonna help. This medium, once it gets into strong cap, which it is now gonna hold up this cap. But Malarkey, it's your time, my friend. Make a big play here on this medium, and you can win the game here. One into him. Malarkey gonna go for that side shot. And he gets it. Oh my goodness, Malarkey. Still, CEL flooding back towards this point. Booty gonna get general. But the soft cap pressure now, so great plays by those guys to stall that, but at least until the CEL can get into the soft cap here. But now the hard cap is beginning to get overwhelmed. You see a outpost already into the soft cap here, one on the blue line. Logistics are being moved. Dog Squad going to set up this garrison. Garrison's already on map edge, so for a new team, 27th, you guys are doing a lot right here. So pat yourselves on the back, moving your logistics up before you move your infantry, but also seizing the opportunity that you've been given here. And, I mean, put on the gas this whole time and setting themselves up to win in under 20 minutes. So 27th looking like they're coming out hungry here in Season 2, Week 2 of the Premier League. They took that bye week personally and said, we're just going to prep extra hard for Week 2. And boy, did they. You can see them pushing up here. Great rocket by Martinez. You see Misguided now moving up into the strong cap, and they're doing a good job of not only holding their ground, but getting these frags as the hard cap is threatened. Another good rocket by Malarkey, Gray Fox. So we're closing in on a potential 5-0 victory here for the 27th. Oh, contested. Every kill here matters a ton. It's going to come from here, if anything. Got to have Malarkey and Bear here. Just hold out. Big kill there to potentially secure the game there, honestly. And they will indeed. And 27th is going to be your victor here, 5-0 against CEL. So, again, apologies for that delayed start, but 124 kills. Let's do the stats here, see what that looks like. Not sure this one is working yet, but at least we have the stats on there. So 136 kills to 74 and a lightning fast victory for the 27th. So congratulations to you, the 27th, and best of luck in Week 3 to both of these teams. I hope you guys will join me tomorrow for some more TPL action. But until then, I hope you have a great rest of your night, and we will see you then. Take care, everyone.